Hi all and welcome back to what could be our finale of the main quest at least. Oh,
I have prepared a place for you.
1 second. I think what we need to do is turn that on. These always change every map, and do you know what? I always want... Oh god, we an awful... Have they even got the good one? Oh hell, this is what we've been in anyway. I want to turn it a touch lighter, because videos do weird things. Anyway, what is going on? Hello. Hello. Let's concentrate on what's happening. We are playing Morrowind, and we are where I believe is the last section of the game, the main quest at least. So it'll be interesting. Ah, I see what this monster is now. It's got the thing fused to the empty eyes of the different enemy. The other type, but that's one. I'm sure if you've watched this, you know which one I'm on about. If you don't, it's one of the many good enemy designs of this game. So yeah, we are approaching what I think is the end of the game. So I'm interested to see what the what we get to see and what it has to offer. So yeah, sorry for not uploading recently. I had, I think I mentioned it on the Demon Longbow. Go on, we'll take it. We're always up for more longbows. Yeah, I said it on the Fallout video.
Bring Wraithguard to the Heart Chamber. Together let us free the cursed false gods.
I said it in the Fallout video, but not always not everyone is going to see that video who might watch this. So yeah, the reason for the delays is basically I had a keyboard malfunction, and I've also been back at work full time pretty much now. So we're in the position where life is a little more busy than it was when I was off all the time. That being said, I'm slowly ramping back up to finding some form of normality in the terms of upload schedule. I'm gonna keep trying to aim for the daily ones that we achieved previously, but there might be hiccups here and there. You know, I think we've spoke about it before, but oh, glass. Life is busy. Life has to happen for video games to be played. You know, I have to do. Well, it's 8 o'clock now, so I've had to do exercise, I've had to eat, I've had to cook to eat, I've had to get home from work, so it's a lot later in the day when I am able to just do a quick record. What is this? Crosier of St. Lothis. Seems interesting. I for sure want all of your stuff. Oh, over encumbered. Go away, game. Oh, we've already got a cuirass anyway. God, we're still using the chitin shield from the beginning. We can get rid of that. And greaves, and no helmet. That's fine. What do we want to get rid of? I mean, that Daedric Katana is worth a lot, but it weighs a ton, so we'll get rid of that as well. How's our fashion? We don't appear to have the right hands. So we're just missing at the moment a helmet and correct gloves. I think we look pretty smart, if I do say so myself. I do like the way they're putting these dead heroes here. I think in previous dungeons they've obviously had dead enemies or dead adventurers or something, but it's always been... Oh, hello. Not the nicest thing to have peering through a door at you. You know, a dead adventurer or something, which implies someone who's probably not as skilled, but a hero implies something altogether different, doesn't it? Implies someone who might be a higher level. Now, I need a master... a master pestle and mortar, don't I? Or I will take that, actually, and instantly use it, because my sword is a little low. It's one of the negatives of... using short weapons, because the swing rate's so quick, it means each time you use it, it's likely to become more and more damaged. I don't know why I'm looting. We don't need loot anymore. We're post-loot. Beyond it.
Welcome, Nerevar. Together we shall speak for the law and the land, and shall drive the mongrel dogs of the Empire from Morrowind.
For some reason, I don't quite believe him. I'm going to keep saving as we go down, because who knows what's going to happen. Oh, are you violent? Yes, you are violent. The way you sort of stood with his hands together, I wondered. It does have a sense of coming full. Oh, 1 second.
House and the tribe unmourned. Come to me openly, and not by stealth.
I'm not exactly being stealthy, game. It's nice to have almost come full circle, because we started off one of the very early areas we went to was ooh, Daedric Shortsword. How does that fare up against Wakazashi? 10 to 30, and that does 10 to 26. Not as good, so I shall leave it. It's worth money, but as I say, money is of little value. But yeah, we started off in... oh, now I'm going to have to try and remember, aren't I? I can't help but loot. Arkenhand, there we go. I've done the remember good. Yeah, is that like one of the big first dungeons we did? So it's kind of nice to come full circle and have more...
Moon and Star,
oh, hello.
to this place where destiny is made.
Who says we're going to mess this up? Because I think we are. Hello, Dagoth. Is this your heart? It began here, it will end here. Have you any parting words, or would you prefer to skip the speeches and get to our business? You are the challenger here after all, so to you goes the courtesy of the first blow. Parting words? Now that you have come to me here, there can be but one result. Many times I've considered offering to share this place with you. I considered offering to accept your oath of service. You might try to buy my trust by giving me Wraithguard, Keening, and Sunder. I thought we might once again be friends, comrades, brother-in-arms. But I have won this place and power by right of conquest. Might makes right. I don't believe that. By right of daring and enterprise. I will not risk it to cunning and deceit. I offer you no deals. If you are my enemy and I cannot trust you, and even if you are not my enemy, I cannot let you live. It will all be decided here. I believe I will prevail, but I cannot be sure, and I am vain enough that, should I fall, I would wish to be remembered in my own words. So, if you have final questions you would ask them now. I have final questions I would ask you if you would answer. I am vain enough that, should I fall... He says his purpose fairly plainly. I always wonder if that's kind of partially bad writing. Anyway. Final questions. My first question is... Are you really Nerevar reborn? I always get the impression... This is nice. The game should do more of this. The game should, like, actually get your perception on who you are more. Because it's preaching to you all the way. I really like this. I've always got the impression of the story that we're fulfilling the prophecy out of some form of pragmatism. And it happens to line up some of it, but then we've sought to figure the rest out. It hasn't just fallen in our laps. So, I am a self-willed hero, and I make my own fate. You are bold. I honour your independence. You are one to teach the gods their limits. I hope the bards will praise the glory of your death in song. My second question is, if you win, what do you plan to do with the power from the heart? Will you make yourself a god and establish a theocracy? I get the Theo. Weird word. Or will you complete Akulu Khan and dispute control of Tamriel with the Septims? Or will you share the heart with your followers as I have and breed a new race of divine immortals? Akulu Khan is the one where they get rid of the foreigners. I'm like, I don't want to get rid of the foreigners, but I also don't want to to do the share Morrowind with the Septims. I feel like the Septims are the bad guys. Let me find out exactly what Akula Khan is, because I don't want to sign up for something I'm not wholly invested in. So Akula Khan is part of the dead god that he's using to power himself. So I don't want to complete that. I don't want to make myself a god. That feels wrong. I have my own secret plan for the heart. Well, perhaps there may be surprises in store for me yet, or perhaps you obscure your plans on principle, or perhaps you are an instinctive bluffer, no matter. My final question is, if I had offered to let you join me, would you have surrendered Faithguard, Sunder, and Keening to me to seal your oath? No, I would never join you. Thank you for your forthright response, and now if you have any questions, ask them, otherwise you are the challenger and I await your first blow. Ask questions. What is your plan for the heart? I will continue to draw divine power from the heart and distribute it to my kin and followers. I will continue to broadcast is not a word that they would have, divine power upon the blight winds so that it will touch each soul on Vardenfell, and then more broadly across the waters in the rest of Morrowind and Tamriel. In time, every mortal in Tamriel shall feel the liberating contact with the divine. What's your plan for the 6th house? The 6th house will serve as an elite cadre of our movement. As cultists evolve through various stages of enlightenment, they will become, as suits their abilities, either holy warriors or priests. Their duty is to prepare themselves for service. Their joy in liberation is to enter ever more deeply into the profound enlightenment of the divine dream world. That's wrapping up some nasty stuff nicely, to say the least. What's your plan for the Dunmer? I will free the Dunmer from the imperial yoke and cast down their false goods in the temple. I will lead them out their ancient superstitions and gift them with intimate knowledge of the divine. Then perhaps when Morrowind is once again restored to its ancient glories, it will be time to consider whether Dunmer should cultivate ambitions of empire. Well, I've got to stand against Dim. How do you justify your crimes? If by my crimes you can mean the inevitable suffering and destruction caused by war, then I accept the burden of leadership. The 6th house cannot be restored without war. Enlightenment cannot grow without the risk of upsetting the tradition-bound and complacent herd, and the mongrel armies of the Empire cannot be expelled from Morrowind without bloodshed. As I have charity and compassion, I grieve, but our mission is just and noble. You seem self-assured. What happened to the Dwemer? I have no idea what happened to the Dwemer. I have been denied the opportunity to study Wraithguard. I am not sure how much of Kagranak's lore was invested in his tools, and how much in his sorcery and mastery. I have long studied Kagranak and have come to admire his wisdom and craft. Someday after the campaigns of the 6th house is secure, I hope to have time to dedicate to this mystery. Why are you building Akula Khan? Akula Khan will serve 3 purposes. First, it will be the champion of my armies, liberating first Vardenfell, then Morrowind, and then perhaps the rest of Tamriel. Second, it will serve as the sower and cultivator of the divine substance derived from the heart. 3, it will serve as the prominent banner and symbol of our cause, to defy the Empire, to liberate mortals against ancient superstition, and to glorify their crusade against the gods. I'm finished talking, defend yourself. Very well, if you're impatient to begin, go ahead, you're the challenger, to you goes the first blow. I haven't cast a blow. I don't have the health for this. I'm sure I don't have the healing potions for this either. 1 quality restore health potion. If I can get some good staggers off, we might have this, but I'm sure we've got to kill the heart at the same time. So, maybe. This is thrilling. Oh, so close. So close. Let's load my save. I'm probably just going to cut to when I kill him. And he's gone and done it. I don't know if that's enough, though. We need to destroy the heart, don't we? Let's not rest here, hey? That might not be a great idea. Heart ring? Ekla Khan's chamber? Here he is again.
I'm a god. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. How could you be so naive? There is no escape.
Okay.
No recall or intervention can work in this place. Come, lay down your weapons. It is not too late for my mercy.
His voice acting was clearly done way after the time of it. Bargain potion of feather. No, that's not the right thing. I mean, while we're here, let's restore our strength. But what I want to do, what I think is the play here, is we switch these and just dip straight down to the heart. wonder if there's different ways of playing this out. Oh, hello. We're very low on health here. Keening, or is it sundering? I was wondering if we could dual wield. Okay. There's probably some really easy way that I'm missing here. I'm sure. Round 2. Ding, ding, ding. I think I've got this time, though.
How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. How could you be so naive?
I say I've got it,
There's
but
no
look at my health.
escape. No recall or intervention can work in this place. Come, lay
One.
down your weapons. It is not too late for my mercy. You do it. Stop!
Oh, I don't have the health for this. Okay. Okay, he's really low health. We've got this. Oh, I thought we were going to fall off the ledge then. Is that us? Are we done? Khan. So God building a god to become a god, but a prophetic god stopped the god from being a god. I'm still floating, aren't I? Your journal's been updated. That's a cool model. In fact, quickly, while we're here, we need one of these. Otherwise, I'm not going to have anything for... what's it called? Oh, it's all going wrong. Here we go. Right, let's watch the thing collapse. Oh, that's satisfying. There we go. The last boss of the Elder Scrolls Morrowind main quest has been done, has been completed. And for the record, I think that was okay. I think the game has limited things that it can do. It has a limited scope in regards to what it can do with the combat system that's available to us. But I think what it did relatively successfully. There are apparently enemies nearby. I feel very out in the open here. I probably shouldn't be doing this. Otherwise I'm just going to end up dying and having to do the whole thing over again, aren't I? Are we still getting the enemies nearby thing? Yeah. So, journal, what do you say? I found the heart of Lorcan within the giant artifact Khan. I struck the heart with Sunder, then struck it again and again with Keening until the enchantment was destroyed. Severing from the sustained power of the heart, Dagoth was destroyed, but the disturbance triggered an earthquake and I had to flee for my life. Oh, we've got to run, guys. We've got to do a run, even though I didn't notice. I mean, what would a last dungeon, last boss fight be without a quick scarper to get away, hey? I think it's a common device for getting out there. Is this door locked? It looks to be. Yes, this earthquake is really threatening. What happens if we crank this? Okay, we can leave. I would really like to rest if possible. I kind of assumed that we'd get a bit of a cutscene or yours. Oh, hello. Hello, cutscene.
You no longer bear the burden of prophecy. You have achieved your destiny. You are free. The doomed Duima's folly, Lord Dagoth's temptation, the tribunal's seduction, the god's heart freed, the prophecy fulfilled. All fate sealed and sins redeemed. If you have pity, mourn the lost, but let the weeping cease. The blight is gone, and the sun's golden honey gilds the land. Hail, Savior, Hortator, and Nerevarine, your people look to you for protection. Monster and villains, great and small, still threaten the people of Vardenfell. Enemies and evils abound, yet indomitable will might rid Morrowind of all ills. For you, our thanks and blessing, our gift and token given. Come, take this thing from the hand of God.
Cutting back to this is very funny. What is it? Ring of Urrrrrr. I want to see what it does. Ring. Night Eye and 20. That's naff. But I'll take it. I think we finished the game. End. Finny. So, let's, as we walk back to safety and normality, talk a little bit about what we think of that. For me, the strongest points of this game all along have been its playfulness with mundanity, its willingness to sit in weird politicking and like genuine just people having conversations for you to succeed in a so-called prophecy. And I think the nice thing about it actually ramping up to probably a more mainstream Elder Scrolls sort of type ending, not even Elder Scrolls but fantasy setting ending, was we got the up stakes, and I think that was successful. But we worked our way there, you know, it didn't feel cheap or easy. We had to become who we became, and the process is to be shown to be mundane and hard work and difficult. It's not something which is achievable by just happening to be a chosen one who happens to be better than the rest, you know. I think all of that's super successful, so then it brings yourself up into a final fight. Oh sorry, I've changed my amulet, so oh no I haven't. Divine intervention please. I want out. Also, let's have a quick look at the journal. As I fled the destruction of the chamber of Akhlakhan, I encountered the presence of the Daedra Lord Azura. They're Aedra in Oblivion, but so what. She told me I had achieved my destiny and was free. The prophecies are fulfilled, and the blight was gone. But now I am Hortata and Nervarine, protector of Morrowind, and must defend the people from monsters and villains. It's nice to set up a world where you feel obligated to the people. Yeah, cool. That's the end of that. So I think we're just going to... That's a nice sword. Or blade. I think we'll have a little wonder. Make it daytime and have a little wonder and just sum up some thoughts, eh? So, it's super successful doing that, and it brings us back to like a big boss battle, which is what we obviously saw at the end there. I think the boss battle, I think I mentioned in the chamber, it works in the fact that... you know, Morrowind's combat's not great anyway, and it works within, like, you having to do a weird thing to succeed at it. And I always wonder with these sorts of games, because I think it's especially true, they're almost immersive sims, aren't they? And it almost feels like... Is this a short sword? Yeah, it is. It's not very good. There's a lot of fortifications, but it's also quicker. That's fine. So, yeah, it upped the ante by having a harder boss battle, which is fine. And I think, yeah, it's almost in the steps of immersive sims. I want to see if this Ghost Gate's still up. It's not. We've switched off the Ghost Gate. That's a cool little feature. I really like that, apart from, you know, showing the geometry, showing it up for what it really is, but there we go. So, in an immersive sim, you would have different ways of approaching that and solutions which would be outside the game. And because these almost have a turn that, it makes you wonder if there is other ways of beating it, or if it is a roach, you've got to do these actions. To be honest, it's been probably a week and a half since I've played this game, so some of the things it was asking of me in that last chamber, I was just like, oh, I'm just going to go and look this up. I can't remember what the way through this is. So... I think it's fine. I think upping the ante and having him monologue to you, it's almost like the game earns that, you know. Sometimes you play a game and it's become more and more popular, and the first one I can think of, but it's definitely not the first, but so say take Far Cry 3 for instance, and you have Vass monologuing at you, and Vass is monologuing at you for the entire game, and it's like a real trope in Far Cry games from that point onwards. You get to a certain stage and you are incapacitated for some reason, and you get a bit of monologuing. And I think that takes from tropes of the big bad evil doing that in film, in books, in all sorts of medium. But the nice thing about this game is you don't have this one enemy monologuing at you all the time. You have a few encounters with him. You have a weird dream. You might get a telepathic message, and these few encounters actually make it feel far more important, instead of it just being like, oh, okay, you're talking to me, we just need to get through this. So I think that then to come to the last boss and him to monologue at you is actually, it works, because it's an important encounter and we need to have a conversation before we just go straight to the killing of each other. Even if it feels a little forced in a way, at least you're getting some reward for that. In terms of the actual main story, I love all the lore of this game. Actually, I think it's really successful. How humans became gods in a time of crisis, and not humans, but mortal beings became gods in a time of crisis, and sort of created a dynasty of and a theocracy below them, and how that's been corrupted by the Septims, and how Dagoth managed to corrupt it, and it's all it really settles into the mundanity of these extraordinary powers. You are constantly having these, not constantly, but you're having these slow shifts of power that are representative of normal day-to-day shifts of power in our life, but their way that they approach them and do them is by big magical items. And I think that is definitely something borrowed from a Lord of the Rings, say, but I think the way it's successful, like Lord of the Rings, is that's a thread that runs through. It's not the overarching thing. You find out about the gods building a god and all that sort of stuff more and more as you get in. At the beginning, you're just some bloke who's on the street and been asked to go and do some guild quests, go and get known the local area. And it keeps your relationships to people a bit in the blue. So we get a note from the Septim saying, oh, we perceive you doing something great, but we don't have a relationship with him. We just get told that once and then are told to go, and instead we have a relationship with Chaos. But even that, he's just halfway through, he's like, yo, I'm checking out, I need to go. So is this the barbarian? What is this? So oh, it's white hair. Yeah, it's the barbarian, isn't it? I feel really bad for him because I've walked past him 3 times now, and I'm just going to continue walking past him. So yeah, it's its willingness to sit with itself and sit with its ideas and make you do things that are kind of half boring and just exist in a world. I've said this multiple times, but Skyrim has you become the Dragonborn very quickly. It's interested in the power fantasy. And this game has the power creep and the hero's journey and you becoming something, but that isn't the part it's interested in. It's interested in the story around that. Whereas Skyrim wants to give you that power immediately. It wants to make you think that you are the chosen one. It wants to center you straight away. And this game, I think we weren't centered in the story till maybe about 30 hours in. You got hints of it, but it's nothing major. And it's not like you have the shout, the voice or whatever it is from Skyrim. That you have a divine almost power in that game, and something that no one else has. But all the powers that are available to you in Morrowind are pretty much things that other people can use. It's magic, but magic is commonplace. It's something anyone can use. It's being good with a sword, it's being good with a bow. All things that exist in this world that is universal. It's not unique to yourself. I suppose the only unique thing was the disease, getting rid of disease. We were not afflicted with it, but even that was achieved through essentially medicine. It wasn't some God-granted thing. We just happened to look into the right person who happened to heal it in the right way, meaning that we couldn't catch it any further because we basically made the version of it we had latent. So yeah, it's just the focus of the entire game seems to be wildly different, and I've really enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to see what the rest of the quests have to offer, to be honest, because this isn't going to be the end of this Let's Play. This is just a decent jumping off point, but we will continue. We are going to go down and do some of the guilds, and we will do the DLC at some point. But for the short term, guilds it is. And I'm sure I'll have more thoughts as I sort of meditate on this game. I didn't know this was how this game was going to end, so I've come off kind of hot with some hot takes about an old game, you know. So, like, these thoughts can develop with time. It's cool, though. It's real cool. So, without anything else to say in the immediate time, I think come back and join me, hopefully tomorrow, for some more Let's Play Morrowind. If not, it'll be another video. Check out a video on mundanity in games that I've got up on the channel at the moment. It was yesterday's one, if you're interested in this and sort of some of the topics I've spoke about. It is a mini-series that I'm doing in the Digressions playlist that is going to be about how games use mundanity and what they achieve with it. But we're going to be looking at weirder games probably than Morrowind. Morrowind's still fairly mainstream in the grand scheme of things. There's someone watching me and I can tell. Oh, it's... okay. I thought that was like some special dialogue. Oh, is this where we die? Hopefully not. I was going to say something. Yeah, so the first game we're looking at is Viscera Cleanup Detail. A game that uses a mundane task in extreme circumstances to an interesting effect. So expect to see that video. Have a look at that if you're interested in these sort of topics. We will be covering that. I'll be covering that in more detail. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Tell me your favourite game that is quite mundane in either task or setting or theme. I'm interested to hear about it. It's become a bit of an interest of mine lately, and I think there's probably some fascinating games in that space that aren't just all Hero's Journey stuff. So comment, tell me that. I appreciate that, and drop a subscription if you think you want to hear more about my games. Games, videos, games. Thank you for watching. My name's been Billy. Goodbye. Bye.